These are the tales and ramblings of two men, their dream of running a successful food truck business and life. We invite you along to join Josh and Skippy on this journey. This is Monday Morning Food Truck.
Hola.
How are you?
It's been quite a morning so far. Oh, there you go.
Hi there.
What are we eating?
Zebra cake
Oh, breakfast of champions.
for fat kids.
Did you get a haircut finally?
Yeah, I did.
Wow. Look at
I
you.
know.
Big time in it.
It's like I'm a grown up.
Well, let's not go that far.
I had to do it at 8:30 at night after service one day, but I got it done.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
You ready to get this shit show on the road?
Well, it looks like you're already there. Did you pass shit show or are you approaching it?
Nope, I haven't passed it yet.
Okay. Yeah,
All right.
absolutely. Welcome to Monday Morning Food Truck. Woo!
Episode 4?
4.5? 3.5?
I don't know, something like that. I really didn't count halves.
Well, I'm going to start it off. My week sucked.
Well,
Okay.
all right.
So,
You want to elaborate at all, or?
oh boy, do I. So I had probably the largest catering event I ever contracted to do on Wednesday. It was it was in Troy, so it was like an hour and a half away. So I had to provide all the drinks, brisket, chicken, 3 sides, and then find help to come with me.
And
Help
it
was
went perfectly.
Well, I made a lot of food.
Good.
I definitely did not run out.
That's good.
Actually, the only thing I ran out of was water, but we had plenty of pop and Kool-Aid.
Good.
Brings me to my complaint about the whole thing was they were so intent on having kids meals, on me providing a kids meal, and then I just realized that the only reason they wanted me to provide a kids meal was because they were cheap.
Yep.
And we were doing pulled pork sliders, chips, and a Kool-Aid I charged them $7 a kid, and they told me there was 100 kids. And I'll tell you what, we didn't even go through a full pack of slider buns.
Shocker.
So note to self, never do kids meals again. Because everybody's just going to order, they're going to order all the same thing.
Yep. Which is back to what I said, I think the first 3 episodes is treat everybody the same.
Yeah.
Everybody gets charged the same amount. Doesn't matter if you're old, young, skinny, or on a barbecue medium size. They're all getting charged the same. Everything averages out.
I prefer to call it double extra sexy.
That works too.
So then
merch coming soon.
Yeah, right. So then I had 2 subdivisions. One went, the other went, with an extra. And then rain all day Saturday for this nice, awesome couple's wedding. It was me and another food truck, a pizza guy who's a legend in my area, well known, very nice food. Tiki Sam's, in case you want to plug. I show up like an hour early, and as I'm putting my tent up so people can stand underneath it while they're waiting for food, the organizer, the host of the farm, comes over to let me know, hey, we're not doing it outside, we're doing it inside. I'm like, uh-oh. So we moved everything, basically moved everything inside, served inside, and I was freaking out the whole time because I can on the truck I can do portion sizes. On a buffet style, there's definitely no such thing as portion sizes. What was good though is the pizza guy was ahead of me, so I swear they took more pizza than what I had to offer.
Yeah.
And so the other thing is the way I do is I charge a minimum and then I run a tab. If we go over that minimum, then I send them an invoice for the difference. Well, how am I supposed to do that if we're not serving from the truck? So I just conformed it or converted it to like a per person price, and the pizza guy made out good. Me, not so much, but live and learn.
Yeah, I mean it's a hard situation for both parties really. It's I don't know. I guess that needs to be a little bit on them and a little bit on the vendors to kind of reach out when you notice the forecast doesn't look great. Say, hey, what's plan B? Are we still going to serve outside, or do we need to change the way we do things? Type of thing. But I wouldn't have thought of that until after the first time either.
Well, the funny thing is, I had you can go to Sam's or whatever and buy a box, like a 3-pack of catering stuff for like a rack stuff. I had a box in the back of my truck, but it was going to rain. I didn't want the box to get soaked, so I took the box out because I can't put my tonneau cover over my generator. So of course, so I had it was going to work, but yeah.
And then yesterday, did you have anything yesterday?
Oh yeah, boy howdy. Local marina asked if I'd come out, and well, let's just say it was good just weather-wise. Like there wasn't really any rain, but nobody was on the lake because it was like 62 degrees. Like even the DNR was pulling their boats up. They're like, we're not spending time out here. I met a couple cool people. I can see the potential of the location. The guy said my ribs were awesome, which is always a good thing to hear. Yeah. Organized. But I think I might go back Labor Day weekend, see what happens. Otherwise, we're definitely making a stop next year.
Yeah, I probably a very weather dependent location where you need a nice sunny, calm day on the lake for it to really hit, probably.
Yeah.
Which sucks. I mean, those types of locations are really hard. So,
how was your week?
Like you had better than yours? Yeah, it's other than problems with the pickup truck off and on.
We still having problems with that?
Yeah, just a minute. We'll get there.
Okay.
But yeah, our regular lunch locations were all pretty solid this week. Our subdivisions were all solid. We had a couple new ones. Really, by the time we hit Friday, we were on track to beat the previous week with one less day, or at least to match it with one less day. Friday, we were in Granville for their Vintage Fest, and they added. See, this year there was 2 more trucks than there was last year, and we made 50% more food, and we ran out sooner than we did the year before.
Wow.
The crowd size was, there was a lot of people, and none of the trucks were ready. I don't think the planning committee was ready for the amount of people they had. Needless to say, it was a pretty successful year for them. But yeah, by the time we closed, of the 5 trucks or food vendors there was 2 open. So just the hamburger truck, Patty Matters, and then a hot dog cart was all that was left. So, but yeah, it was a hell of a night. And then we expected to. I mean, normally they do about half the size for Saturday, so we already had food on the smoker. I mean, the forecast was what it was. on Saturday. But so I mean,
FYI, you're cutting in and out.
But there was no talk of canceling the event for rain at all. I mean, on Friday all day they were saying 80% chance of rain for all day Saturday. So we just assumed that it was going to go rain or shine. At 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, they sent an email saying we're not going to go. I'd been there since 4 on the trailer on the street, and there had been people there working on the street that worked for the event, and they never said a word to me. So now I have a trailer full of food and no event, and I'm told that we can't stay on the street because they're clearing the street and they're going to reopen it earlier than normal because there's no event going on.
Of course.
So that was a little bit of a scramble on Saturday, trying to make the decision of whether or not you either move to one of your other fairly regular locations and try to, just hope for the best.
Yeah.
Last minute promoting and a schedule change, which usually doesn't work well for us. But yeah, they where we were at, they have a farmers market area just behind that street. It's got a covered pavilion on it, and they have food trucks there that just pull right up to the cover, so you can actually approach food trucks without being out in the open, more or less. So they let us pull in back there, and the other truck that was the only other truck that stayed and didn't pull into a commissary the night before, the grilled cheese truck, said they would go back with us. So we just did a little mini food truck rally real quick. And the guy that runs Eat GR, which is one of the bigger food groups for restaurants, the local restaurants in Grand Rapids, the admin came out. He wanted to do a picture for us for winning the best food truck for Review Magazine, and then he promoted the heck out of it and asked all those followers to come out and support. We ended up having a decent day. A lot of it because of that post from him. So
that's great.
Pretty grateful for that, because it went from a total loss to we salvaged something.
It's good.
And then so for Saturday,
I said something's better than nothing.
Exactly.
Hold on, for everybody who doesn't know, I'm sitting in my trailer right now because I have a subdivision to do tonight, and Mr. Hans is driving, and so he may be
from Grand Rapids to Ann Arbor. So yeah, there's definitely some dead spots in between.
Oh yeah, right when you get to Ann Arbor, that's a big dead old spot, just a dead Wolverine spot. Anyway, go ahead.
My navigation keeps telling me about speed traps. So yeah, we set 2 records in Grand Rapids on Saturday.
Oh, yes.
So our coldest high temperature ever of 62, I think. And then we set a rainfall record of 1.84 inches or something like that. So yeah, it was the best day you could have for August running a food truck, weather-wise. So, but yeah, like I said, something's better than nothing. I'm super grateful for all the people that came out. We might even have gotten a few new regular customers out of the deal, just based on comments later that we heard. So, and then Sunday was another interesting one. We were up in Newaygo, but not at our usual Newaygo spot. We U.S. Nationals paddling event put on by the U.S. Canoe Association, I think. So a lot of
so you're at the water like I was.
Well, but this is an organized, so they had people from 27 states, I think, and their furthest competitor came from Belize. So it was a multinational, it was a pretty big event. However, Sunday was the worst day we could be there, just because there's so many people were traveling that a lot of people left out a little bit early. So we ended up having about a normal day, a normal Sunday there. We were hoping for a little bit more, but it was, again, still a good day considering the weather wasn't super great, overcast, dreary, drizzly, not ideal food truck weather. But so Saturday morning, as we're dealing with the whole 8 o'clock news, I'm driving the pickup back from Gordon Food Service, and it goes back into low power mode out of the blue. And this time it won't come out. So hook up the trailer, get it moved into the back, and then I contact Enterprise to rent a pickup, which is what I'm currently driving right now. Luckily, they have vehicles big enough that I can haul the trailer while my pickup sits at the mechanics as of last night. So have not heard from them yet. But I'm sure it'll be nothing but good news.
It's coming up, Josh, so far.
Yeah. So, and back to, I don't remember when we talked about trailer versus a food truck. If something goes wrong with an engine in a food truck, you're out. If something goes wrong in a pickup, you just have to go find another vehicle to pull the trailer. So, and that's where I'm at. So, I mean, it wasn't cheap for the 5 days I'm going to have it, but I mean, it's not super expensive, 100 and 110 a day or something like that. Which isn't
Is it
awful.
Ford?
Yes.
Yeah.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. There's not much I like about the truck.
Other than it works.
Yeah, other than, I mean, I love that part and that it does. But yeah, they gave it to me. If they had just gotten it on the lot, no one had rented it yet. It had 177 miles on it.
Ooh, it's a new truck.
Yeah, I said, oh, great. So any scratch that gets put on it, it's clearly from me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got the insurance.
Yeah. So Chris and I are trying to use kid gloves with it, but you know how much stuff gets hauled around when we are moving around. So.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so that was my week. Marginally better than yours, but I have a bad feeling that this coming week is going to be expensive. So yeah, and then we had back-to-back festivals. So we have a festival this weekend in Marcellus, and I am as close to pulling out of that as I think I've been to pulling out of anything. So last, I don't know, probably Wednesday, because I hadn't heard anything from them in a while. So I was just trying to get, times that the festival's going on, so we can have an idea of when we need to be there, when we need to set up. Basic things, a location of where we're setting up, so we can promote. And they said, yep, we're working on getting all that information out. I'll get back to you soon. I still have not heard anything. So I still don't have a location. I still don't have times for a Friday and a Saturday event. That's 4 days away. So, which makes it hard for me to send in the paperwork to Cass County because they need an exact address. So I guess I will do a vague address for them and send it in, and I mean they'll figure it out. But yeah, I don't have a lot of great feelings about the success of this event right now, but I'm hoping that this is just kind of how it is, and that it's a big local, small town event, but people come out for it. So, which we've had before. That they are
for anybody who's wondering what the paperwork that Josh is talking about is, the intent to serve. They should send everybody you go to.
Yeah. Which we're supposed to have in 4 days before the event, so that's going to be late.
Most are okay with it until it becomes a habit.
Yeah, and it's Cass County, so they're not getting a ton of them. There's not a whole lot of major populated areas that there's a lot of food trucks running around that area. So it's not like it's going to get buried under and be late. So it's not a horrible thing. I mean, it would be a much bigger issue in Kent County if I sent it in the day before an event type of thing. So yeah, it's I'm looking forward to see what this week looks like or ends up being. But yeah, we're on track for a pretty good August, which is nice. Another month of growth over last year. So as long as we can maintain. But, yeah, so that's kind of where I've been at. Yeah. What are we talking about this week?
I didn't last year. I'm up over last year. Well, as we're recording, I'm getting a message from a wedding that I have this Saturday. My Saturdays this month are all booked with caterings, which is good, but
Yeah.
I'm on the opposite side of everybody. I'd rather vend than cater. But anyway, so they're like, it looks like it's going to rain on Saturday. I'm like, oh, great, another one. So guess who's going to pack catering dishes? Yeah,
Damn straight.
This guy.
So yeah, I mean, I would just talk with them, and the more communication, the better, the earlier, just so everybody has a plan B and everybody's aware and good with plan B, you know?
Yeah.
Trying to figure that shit out day of is awful. So,
Oh, and if you ever accept a catering booking, make sure you get the address up front, figure out how far it is away from your house, plan accordingly. I booked this one like 4 months ago and didn't realize I just got the address recently and didn't realize that it's basically in your neck of the woods. You're like,
what?
You're closer than I am to it. Anyway, going to Portland.
Yeah, I'm driving through Portland here and just.
What are we talking about today? Should we get back into like more what it takes to start a food truck?
Yes. Yes, we should. After I completely threw me off last week.
Yeah. Hey, it's after. I'll tell you what. The amount of money that I had to shell out for that catering gig for help to make sure that I had quality people that would come up there. Absolutely, help is to me is like number 1A, 1B, something like that. The other thing is, and I can't remember if we mentioned it, but you have to have, my belief, you have to have a good support system. You have to have, you're going to have rough days, and you're going to need those people that are going to, help pick you up and, dust off the grime and get back at it the next day. And you got to have those people that are going to cheer you on.
Yeah, we touched on that pretty quick, but not. Yeah, we didn't really go in a whole lot. Yeah, it's paramount. Yeah, luckily, I mean, I know I have a good group of people around me, between my wife and friends that are fully supportive. But I think important too, and this is probably going to come off horribly, true passion and willing to give it everything, that you need to cut those people out that are going to sit there and tell you it's an awful idea.
Yeah.
Keep them out of, you don't need them to talk anywhere near your head from people that are close to you while you're getting this going, because it doesn't take much to really start second guessing yourself, even without it, let alone with someone saying, see, I told you this wasn't a good idea. As soon as you have they lose money. But,
yeah, I think that goes above and beyond whatever concept you're doing, whatever equipment you need to buy, whether you're going to do a truck, trailer. Have those positive people around you. It's easy to get down on yourself when you had a bad day. I mean, I did $260 yesterday in 6 hours. Yeah, I was bored out of my mind, and also very little cell service. So trying to get my POS to work without cell service really doesn't work. So that's just a little side tangent, but we talked about concepts. What's going to make your concept work. Equipment. What are you going to need to buy? Probably one of the first things you should do after you establish a support system and concept is do a business plan. Work on where do you plan on getting customers from? Where do you plan on setting up? Is it going to be random? If you put it down on paper, it starts to get real. And if you really want it to it can't just be an idea in your head. You start putting it down on paper, and that's the next step.
Luck favors the prepared.
Plan your work, work your plan.
Something like that. All those, yeah. So let's go a little bit more granular then. I mean, we both run barbecue trucks.
For now.
Clearly, it was an easy pick for us on food type because we've both been competing in barbecue for a while, and clearly something we're comfortable in.
PB&J's bar, I'd probably go gourmet peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
Different types, like
so grape and
like
strawberry, crunchy, creamy.
Kinds, you know.
Yeah.
I did try dessert yesterday.
What'd you do?
I took the cornbread that I use and used it as the base for strawberry shortcake.
Big seller?
No.
What are you doing with your ThermaPen?
I'm temping. I'm
okay.
Temping.
Oh,
the smoker's done. See? It's done.
Very pretty. The smoker's done.
Smoker's done.
Good.
Anyway, what were we saying?
You were talking about your peanut butter and jelly truck. Different kinds of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yeah, I also like a grilled cheese truck too. That'd be fun. There's too many burger trucks out there. I wouldn't do that. What would you do?
Probably soup and sandwiches. I like the idea of being able to have something that I can not run out of, or a lot harder to run out of, you know, something you can stock for the day and restock midday without having to, you know, cook 10, 15-hour cuts of meat.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's a little bit more festive friendly from that point of view, you know. And the profit margins are a little bit better on a sandwich truck than they are on a barbecue truck. But
profit margin, what's that?
Non-existent. Yeah, I think that's what I would do. Not that it's easy, but I like a nice hot sandwich and some soup. But I mean, it gets pretty hot in Michigan, and I don't eat a whole lot of grilled sandwiches and soup in the summer. So I don't know. Would it work? I have no idea. And that's what's that?
Hold on.
Okay. Skippy.
I moved inside just in case it was me.
I thought you fell off the trailer.
You're the one on the freeway, not me.
Well, I know, but I'm just sitting down.
Well, I'm moving. I'm definitely moving. Okay, I'm back. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Face for radio. Face for podcast. Yeah, I like the idea of being able to restock. Like it would either be like a sandwich truck where I could put like a PB&J. You don't know how many people have come up to me. Do you serve fried PB&Js? I said, no, the menu's to the left.
My favorite thing is, what do you guys have here? I don't know. There's like a whole menu right there next to right where you're standing. Maybe look at that.
You got chicken tenders and fries? At least you could have. At least you could have chicken tenders and fries. I can't have chicken tenders and fries.
I don't remember what day it was, but there was a day that we had a lot of questions from people when they came up to the window, and Chris got increasingly annoyed with every question. And it was hilarious for me, but it was all the silly questions like, what do you guys have on the menu? As they're standing in front of the menu, looking at the menu. It's like, what do you want me to do? Read the menu?
Yes, please.
Next time, do.
Read the menu.
Read the whole menu word for word. If you would like a picnic, please press 1. Welcome to Barbecue Phone.
So have you thought, so your trailer, if I remember, is pretty much a blank slate. You put your banner up that has your menu on it. Have you thought about putting like a QR code where somebody could scan it to get the menu right to their phone?
We have it.
You do?
I have one. Yeah, it's on the back end of the trailer on the smoker.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then.
And when I reprint the menu, it'll have one on there, and then we'll have one on the driver's side wall. I had ordered 2. I only got sent 1. So
well, that's nice.
I just haven't pre-ordered. Yeah.
You have good service now. You're perfect. Look at that.
Yeah, and I have less superior service than what I did before, according to the little triangle. So yeah, we have a QR code. It goes to our social medias. So when you click on it, it goes to a little web page.
Yes.
That gives you 3 options for the menu and then our social media accounts.
Oh, I like that. Our QR code's on the back of the business card that takes you to our Facebook page.
So I don't remember who I used for it. I had to pay a subscription for it, but it was pretty nominal. I think it was like $80 for the year or something like that.
Yeah,
and that's for up to like 10,000 clicks or something like that. But it allows me to do multiple links.
Yeah,
and I'll link the podcast to it too. So yeah, it's pretty handy that way. And I've noticed people taking pictures of it in my rearview mirror when I'm driving down the road as they're passing us, because it has our logo in the center of the QR code. So yeah, I've seen people slow down to take pictures of the back of the trailer, and then
So since we're talking about electronic means of marketing, wonderful Facebook is now rejecting an ad of mine that I did because it's for an ad for a local distillery, and you need or they don't like the word distillery or cocktails or anything alcohol related because it's against their thing. So I've now tried to go through it 3 times to try to pay them money to advertise a local distillery I'm doing in 2 weeks, and they won't do it.
I'm so confused because we have the word distillery in every one of our. Well, yeah. I guess it's not in the text. It's on the uploaded picture.
Yeah.
We're scheduled.
So I did an event, and I was trying to promote the event.
Which is weird because they have, alcohol brands with Facebook pages.
Yeah. Well, it's the thing is they think I'm promoting alcohol.
They are.
I mean, kind of, but not promoting me. But it's an event like at a certain place.
Right.
So maybe I'll just create a post and then do it that way.
Yeah, that's strange. Huh.
Welcome to the land of social.
I run Facebook ads weekly. Every Monday I run an ad for the schedule for the week, and then we have an ongoing forever. It's been running for 3 years straight now. Just as a page notification for people, just to get the name out there a little bit more. And it's I probably spend $400 to $500 a month on Facebook ads. And I definitely noticed, there's been weeks where I haven't boosted or promoted a weekly schedule, and I've noticed a difference. Whether it's just a coincidence that happens to be a slower week, but I think once would be a coincidence. It happening pretty much every time that we forget to promote it is another thing. So, yeah. So I definitely think there is some weight there and some value there to Facebook ads, and they're, really relatively cheap advertising dollars. Yeah, really, it's probably the best bang you can get for your buck for advertising.
Yeah, I know there's a lot
you
of
can
people
target it to certain areas, and
their targeting is weird.
Yeah.
Like as far as what it shows you when you want to target. Oh boy, you're cutting in and out again. Megatron is back.
I hear you fine.
Oh, there you are.
You're perfect. You're crystal clear.
I know I'm perfect. Thanks, bud.
I have a theory. Hold on. I have a theory about this audio.
Yeah.
That since since we're call, your audio is going to be crystal clear when I go back to listen to it because it's recording on both sides. So we're going to have all this audio crystal clear. Us saying, "I can't hear you. Where'd you go?" So as I told you that the editing was getting easier, I think this week is going to take me a few more days.
Couple more clicks.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, go on.
So we went off on another tangent again.
That's what we do best.
You got to have. You probably got to figure out money. How you gonna pay for this? That's probably another thing. Are you going to take out a loan, or do you have mattress money that you can that you saved from your high school graduation? You're going to cash out a 401k because it's your dream and it's just something you want to do, and you realize you're working harder than you ever have. Don't know who that would be. Is it? Yeah. So I didn't take out a loan. Right now, I don't have any debt on the business, which is good. I sold an RV. Long story short, it was supposed to be a partnership with a friend that didn't feel comfortable enough to pursue it as much as I did. So I sold my RV, went down to Alabama, bought a used trailer, and I've put equipment into it since. It's not flashy. I know Josh is a little bit, I think we already went over what Josh did, but short story, his cashed out his 401k and bought a trailer and had it built, and it's nice and pretty. And yeah, and that's
well,
don't forget the nice and pretty part.
I didn't pay for the trailer with the 401k's money.
True.
That was my pay myself money and make sure I don't go bankrupt. Yeah, just with personal stuff that I had going on too. Yeah, I mean, I took out a loan through essentially a leasing company. So I actually don't own my trailer yet. It's a lease.
Getting there though.
For the 4-year period, and then they sell me the trailer at the end. Now some states you have to be charged like half the value of whatever it is you're selling. So at the end of all your payments, you still have to pay, like in my case, it would have been like $26,000 to have that transferred into my name. Luckily, Michigan, it's $1. That's your minimum purchase amount. Now I'll get charged sales tax on it, which is fine, but it's not going to be half the value.
Well, that's good.
There's not a speed trap ahead. I just passed it. Dumb thing. So yeah, it's at the end of my payments, I'll get charged $1, and then everything gets transferred into my name. So I overpaid for my trailer. It was the only way I was going to get into the business. There's definitely been times where it's caused stress for the amount of payment I had to make a month, especially through the winter. But we made it, and that's all that really matters. I will do my best to pay cash for anything going forward. But yeah, that's the only debt we have. If you want to call it debt since it's a lease, but yeah, everything else has been paid cash. No business credit cards, no other business lines of credit. There's been some personal loans and people buying into the business a little bit just to help move things along a little bit quicker. But I'm cool with giving away a percentage of the business to help it get to where it needs to go a little bit quicker and a little bit more soundly. Would you recommend
what you did and how you did it to somebody else? Or is it kind of just depend on what your overall situation is?
I think it totally depends on the type of person. If you are a person that lives in debt and has forever, you are already, swimming in it, I would say no. If you have back to the support system, and if you have a second in your situation that can kind of help divert you from having to take pay from the truck or a salary or owner pay, that definitely helps, which comes back to the 401k situation. Because I had to make such lofty payments, I didn't take anything out of the business for myself. I didn't pay myself for a year and a half, at least. 2 years actually. I was 2 years before I actually had pay come out for me.
Can only imagine how scary that might have been.
Yeah, but that was my plan going in, and I was never planning on paying myself for 2 years. But at the time, I also had a second income that was enough to sustain. When all the commitments were made and the trailer was purchased, I wasn't too awful worried about it. But then, things change and you lose an income, and
reality sets in.
You're furnishing apartments, and so the anxiety that was already there from the previous year of kind of barely making the payments, but that's about it. And then all of a sudden you have all this other stuff. So yeah, I guess it really depends on the circumstance of the person and the type of person that is, and your comfort level of that risk. I would say for someone, if you can operate all year, that becomes a little bit easier. But if you don't, then you need to have enough money in your bank account from whenever you get your trailer to cover the winter payments.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
for me, I was paying $2,700 a month that I had to make sure I got my trailer in July, and we were done in October.
That's a house payment.
That's more than it's almost my house payment. But yeah, so, and I did consider it for a little bit there. But yeah, so yeah, for the 5 months were closed, 4.5 or whatever, there was 5 payments that needed to be made while we're not bringing in any money, which is a pretty significant amount of money. They're talking $12,000-$13,000. So yeah, but if you're running all year round, it makes it a little bit easier. But yeah, it totally depends. And I think people see how easy it is to get these types of loans. They think it's a piece about really thinking all the way through what their business plan is and what they need to have to make it through months. So yeah, if you're in a pinch and you're in a pretty good spot, you just don't have the cash up front to do it. I would try to do it. Other options for food trucks. There's a lot of trailers out there that double as, at least in the barbecue world, that double as just a competition trailer. And those you can get standard bank loans for as a recreational vehicle. So you can always try to sell your food trailer or truck as a recreational vehicle. It's all just about how you try to sell it to your bank. It didn't work for us, so that was the last option for us. So that's the way we went. And so far it's worked out. But yeah, I don't know. It can work out. I don't want to dissuade anybody from getting whatever financing they can get. But yeah, just be super careful and realize that you're going to pay 3 times as much for whatever you buy as you are. There is no early payoff to reduce your fees. I think I could have saved like $1,000 if I would have paid it off in 2 years versus 4. Because it's a lease payment, it's not an actual loan payment. There's no benefit to paying it off early. Your payment's your payment. So yeah, I way overpaid for my trailer. That's how I view it. but
Well,
I way
but you knew
overpaid
that
for it, so I could get going.
at the end of the day, you knew that going in. So you made the
Yeah.
decision that's the way you wanted to go. So inside your trailer, what equipment did you get? What equipment would you get rid of? What equipment do you need or would you like to have now? We'll go with that.
When I bought it, I had a tall single door refrigerator, tall single door freezer, a smallish sandwich prep table, stove slash oven, 6-burner, and then a 2-basket fryer, and then a warming slash proofing cabinet, 3 bay sinks, all the standard stuff, shelves,
Yeah.
cabinets and stuff. But I haven't used the fryer once and won't ever use the fryer. It's just too much of a pain to drain it, move it. For me, it's not something I want to have to do. So I wouldn't have that in. I mean, that fryer alone cost me probably $8,000, I think. I don't remember what the exact number is because I had to extend the hood. And then, yeah, the extra gas lines and the fryer itself. So,
and you got it. I mean, and you got it. Why?
Because I listened to Facebook followers.
Okay.
In my original plan, it was not in there.
So peer pressure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I put it out there and asked what people thought about having a fryer on, and it was overwhelmingly yes. Here's what you do. Blah 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 blah. And then, yeah, it quickly after it got in and we started using the trailer, quickly became not something I want to do. But yeah, so we've gotten rid of and that was the only reason I had the freezer in there, was for frozen stuff to fry. So yeah, it was really, I mean, we really had to reimagine what the trailer was when I added the fryer. So yeah, I wouldn't go that route again, not on that trailer. So yeah, we got rid of the freezer, got rid of the fryer, still there, but it will be coming out at some point in time. We added a steam table.
Yours didn't have a steam table in it?
No, when we started, we were using hotel pans, so deep hotel pans, just like chafing dishes.
Yeah, on the
on our stovetop. Yeah, which creates a whole lot of steam, makes it super muggy in the trailer. I don't know if you know that, especially in the summer.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's what we were doing for a while, just to save space at that point. Yeah, because once you add it, I mean, think of how much space a commercial fridge takes up, and then the fryer section. So I think I had a steam table in the original plans, and I cut it for those 2 items.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, the layout of the trailer is okay. There's some flow issues, but I can't fix them right now as is. But I would love to flip flop a whole lot of stuff on the trailer. Just from where the ordering takes place to where food is handed out. The customer flow gets a little discombobulated, so that the menu's on one side of the trailer, the order window's on the 20 feet away on the other side of the trailer.
Yeah.
And cut back to pick up towards the menu again. So I wish we had a better spot for the menu, so that it was, while you were standing at the window, you could see the menu. But yeah, I mean, that's just it's not a fixable thing.
No, can't take a window out
in the trailer. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, I would love to not have a porch and have all that extra 8 feet, and be able to smoke off the trailer, just move stuff onto the trailer. But with the way the STFU licenses work, everything has to be cooked on the trailer. So for right now, that's the way it is. But at some point in time, if I can figure out a way to get a commercial kitchen either purchased or at least it's not crazy expensive, that I can keep a smoker at and just cook there, then That's the way it'll be.
Yeah.
How about you? What is your trailer like, Skippy? Well, give us the tour. You got the camera.
It's not set up for Skippy's trailer tour at the moment.
Oh, okay.
So I'm the king of impulse buys. We were looking at trailers for months, and everyone that would come up would be just didn't have the money at the time, or something about it just wasn't right. So I found one that was basically empty. They used it as like a kettle corn, lemonade, popcorn, little porch trailer thing, which is weird. They used a porch trailer for that. So nothing was on the porch. Anyway, so it was completely empty with the exception of it had like kitchen cabinets in it, had kitchen cabinets on the floor, on above. It did have a fat belly or a fat guy table that had it was rounded in the middle, kind of looked funny. So basically when I got it back, I gutted it, put stainless steel tables in there, 3-bay steam table. Somebody was nice enough to get rid of their prep table. Are you on mute? Are you on mute? Am I on mute? You gotta look at the camera. Hey. I can't hear you. Hey, I can't hear you. You gotta look. No, there's nothing there. This would be funny if it's recording. Right here. I can't. I don't know what is going on right now. Yeah. I just love that you love to talk. Oh, you're talking on the phone. You're totally talking on the phone.
I was. So as soon as it started ringing, it muted the Zoom call. Like I couldn't. I was like, "Let's give me hold on just a second," and I was like, "Just a second." But apparently you didn't get that. So
I'm seeing your lips move, and I'm like, "Am I watching a recording?" Oh boy.
But again, I can't wait to listen back to this audio to see if your audio is still coming through or not. Yeah, this is going to be an editing nightmare for me. So,
oh boy.
Anyway, talking about your trailer. What do you have in there? Start over.
Oh boy. 24-inch stainless table, 6-foot stainless table. Somebody got rid of a prep fridge that I somehow picked up for less money than I wanted to spend on one. A 3-bay steam table that I picked up for like $180. That was basically brand new, and an 8-foot porch, and it's a 10-foot enclosed area. The air keeps up. There's no hood. There's no fryer. No griddle. The air is great inside. So definitely get air conditioning if you can. Yeah, mine's pretty simple. I would definitely get a different floor though. The diamond plate floor is horrible.
Awful.
It's ugly. It's just gross. Like no matter how much you clean it, it still will always look gross.
Yeah, on our slow days, it's not out of the question to see me sitting on the floor with a plastic knife, scraping off the grease and dirt from the edges of all the diamonds. Yeah, it's awful. I would definitely go. Smooth is not the best option either, but definitely something that's easier to clean.
Yeah, rubber coin. They can do kind of like a rhino line diamond plate, where it's textured diamond plate, and it's a lot easier to clean. Like I wish I could power wash the interior, and you really can't because there's no drain.
Yeah, I was when I went down to buy my trailer. We walked into another one that they were working on that was a little bit longer. I asked them if I could go in and see it, and there was 2 drains in the floor. I was like, "That's an option."
Yeah, like
It's like,
that's
is it too late?
like that would be fantastic just to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, for me,
Especially at the end of the year.
it would probably be more of a mess. I get it all over everything.
I have power washed my porch a couple of times and ended up having to then scrub down the back wall of the trailer because
Yes.
crap all over. I was like, well, this is just I keep having to wash the same 3 things over and over again.
Yeah, I think I would. I got mine wrapped. I know you didn't. Yours is just a
Not yet.
bright color. Yeah, so mine's wrapped, but mine was red, and I don't mind red, but it was just a plain old red. Like the Alabama heat probably just really distorted it.
Yeah.
It was good for the Republican convention I did. That was kind of neat, but other than that, yeah. So mine, I like it's now wrapped with like a distressed kind of wood siding with our logo on it. Definitely looks 10 times better, but I'd love to have like a menu board. Like right now, I just hang up a vinyl banner. I think you do the same.
Yep.
I'd almost want like a dry erase something so I could write everything down because prices, I see other food trucks out there, they adjust their prices as much as the wind blows. And I can't stand that. I hate it. But I can I can see why they do it. And I can see why some of these people just have menu boards that are just dry erase and they can just write down, if they go to an affluent neighborhood or whatever, they can just write down whatever price they really want to, which I think I don't agree with it. I can see why they do it, but I don't agree with it. But it makes it easier to you don't have to spend money on another banner if for some reason you have to increase your prices.
Yeah, and really the only time that I considered changing my prices frequently was a little bit last year and a little bit in 2020 when all the prices were fluctuating on everything so much, almost going to more of a market price on meat by the pound and stuff. But
Hey,
other than that,
here's another tangent. You just mentioned something that I don't do. You do meat by the pound, right?
yes, sir.
And I don't. But I get a lot of people that do you do that for people that say, hey, can I get a brisket sandwich with no bun? Then you charge them like a half pound of brisket, or do you charge them for a sandwich and just don't put a bun on?
No, we charge them for the sandwich because it's less meat. So we don't have that a ton unless we take the meat by the pound off the menu. So with the meat by the pound, if someone just wants meat, they'll just order meat instead of ordering a sandwich without a bun. We have had people ask us if they could just get a quarter pound of like brisket, and then we'll charge them for the sandwich because that's about a quarter pound on a sandwich.
Yeah.
And just do it without the bun.
Do you have those people that look at you like you got steaming turds coming out of your mouth because it's only a quarter pound and it just doesn't look like a lot?
No. I mean, no.
I haven't got that yet, but I always fear that when somebody says like they don't want the bun because they think I'll give them more meat or something like that.
So on our bird sandwich, which has the mac and cheese on it, or our Laura swine, which has coleslaw, and we have a lot of people that ask for the coleslaw or mac and cheese on the side, and that's my thought every time they do it is they think they're going to get more, they're going to get a full small side of either of those, and I am very conscious and very particular about they get the same amount that they get that was on the sandwich. So, but yeah, it's meat by the pound is it's an interesting thing. I mean, we definitely make more money selling sandwiches than we do meat by the pound.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's easy to see the reflection in the like our festival that we do. We took all of that stuff off, so we didn't do brisket or pork by the pound, just because we don't want one of our regulars to come up, and they're having some family over for the night, and they're getting 3 pounds of pork and 2 pounds of brisket. That's a nice sale, but that's 16 sandwiches, you know, or whatever. So it's at a festival, that's where what you're going to sell is sandwiches mostly. So we want to make sure we can maximize that.
Back to starting a food truck. Do you think you need to be good at social media?
Yep.
To make it work?
This day and age, I think it definitely helps. You need to get comfortable with learning it. I'm not as good as I want to be with it, and I'm pretty good with Facebook, you know, and that's my comfort zone. That's my comfort zone, but I need to get better with Instagram. I need to get better with. There's so many that come out. You never know which one's going to be TikTok, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, you kind of got to keep up on all of them, you know. And my advice would be, once you have your name kind of solidified, and you start creating those handles on social medias, like ours at Sweet Racks Barbecue is our Facebook, but it's only that for Facebook. It's something different for every other social media. Our ad tag. That's because we didn't go through every one of them right away and lock it in. So it's so if you're new and that name's not out there yet, you just got to go through all of them. You might not use all those social medias, but at least you have a consistent naming convention going through all of them.
That was the same thing for me. So PB&J's Barbecue. There's actually PB&J's Barbecue on Facebook in like Pennsylvania or something like that. So our Facebook is at PB&J's BBQ of Michigan. Instagram is PBJ's_BBQ. I just set it up so I post to Instagram every time I post on Facebook. I always just make sure that you post a picture. Would you ever consider hiring somebody?
Potentially. Yeah, I mean, for something like that, probably, yeah, I'd be okay with that. Not a firm.
More like a
by any means. They're overpriced for what you get for them.
Yeah.
Be more that has an interest in social media marketing and do it as like a co-op work study thing.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I mean, so yeah, we do the same thing where our Facebook posts are all going to Instagram for the most part. In an ideal world, that's not great because the platforms are so different. The content should be different because you want people to hit every one of them, ideally, right?
Yeah.
So you want to offer different content on each one of the platforms because the platforms offer different styles, you know?
Yeah.
So where Twitter is a short form text and Instagram is geared towards pictures and Facebook's more of a long form content type of thing. And then you get to podcasts and YouTube and all the other stuff. And so, yeah, it's I would say find whatever one you're comfortable in and learn that frontwards and backwards, and whatever one you're second most comfortable in, really get up on that, and then figure out which ones are the most popular. And hopefully those two things line up with what your comfort level is. If you are on a social media that you love that no one else is on, then it doesn't do you any good. So you need to go follow the eyes. You know, where are the eyes looking, and that's what you need to go to. So if you look at my demographics for our Facebook followers and Instagram followers, it's our male-female ratio on Facebook is, I think it's 62% women like us on Facebook. to 38% men, and then on Instagram it's almost the exact opposite.
Look at that beard. I mean, come on.
2% men. What's that?
Look at that beard. Come on.
So it's interesting to see the gender. It almost feels weird saying that word. But you know what? So it's weird to see that there's more women paying attention on Facebook and there's more men paying attention on Instagram. And I guess you could say that's because men have such a short attention span. All they can focus on is a picture.
I mean, right?
You know? So yeah, I mean, I would like to gear more towards that. Like, I would like to be able to take pictures of sandwiches throughout the day or whatever, you know, kind of hit that a little bit harder. But I never seem to be able to find the time. Like, I think about it when we're setting up and stuff, but I'm busy, you know, slicing briskets and stuff. And then we get busy, and then I kind of forget about it until the next day, you know? So
yeah, why don't you do it every time your first order goes out? I mean, it's the quickest. You're already doing it. Take a picture of the first order that goes out, and then.
Because part of it's remembering.
I mean, they make post-it
I'm
notes.
I'm not very good at remembering.
Make post-it notes for a reason.
Yeah, I need those around my trailer.
You need a hole in the head. I understand.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, definitely. So I was talking to Lauren, who runs Patty Matters, and she would be great to have on at some point. She said that she just hired. Hey, you know, you just drive down the shoulder. Jesus. You know, they paint these lines on the road for a reason.
Slayer.
What? Did you fall off the trailer again? Anyways, Lauren with Patty Matters told me that she recently just hired an assistant. I said, "Oh, that sounds nice." So takes all the phone calls for the business, answers all the emails, all the text messages, all the social media messages, handles all of that, does all the booking. The booking is the part that I would have the most reservation about, but you know, but all that stuff is the stuff that getting back to emails and stuff is the part that I can't seem to figure out time to do.
Is it you can't figure out the time, or you don't want to let it go?
I'm sorry, I missed the first part.
Sorry. I said, is it that you really can't figure out the time, or you just don't want to let it go?
I really can't figure out the time for me to do it.
Oh.
Because my regular 6 days that we're open are so full of, you know, running around and getting stuff and making sure everything's working. And now that we lost Ethan for the rest of the year, I'm on the trailer more. So yeah, it's really, the only time I can carve out, unless I am using up those 2 hours in the evening after I get to do it. I get a little bit of time first thing in the morning, and then I get my Mondays.
Yeah, and your Mondays are important for sure.
But I can't afford it right now. It'll happen. Have my truck running with my staff.
Yeah.
So that is my ideal get to.
I don't have
next few years.
I don't have those problems just yet.
Well, I mean, and it helps that you're not doing all days. You know, you're not doing 11 to 7 every day.
I didn't know you were doing until 7. I thought you were doing until 6.
Well, whatever. You know what I mean?
No, I think the goal this year was to get the name out and figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
Next year, could it be a couple, every week? It's possible. I don't know. I don't know if there's any. there's plenty of money for everybody to do this, as long as they're doing it right. And the name of the game is focus on doing it right. You won't ever have to worry about. I personally don't think you'll ever have to worry about money as long as you're doing the right thing every single time. You know, there's. I don't have the. It's not about luxury. I don't have the people. There's not enough people in this world that want to work nowadays. And I think you definitely. That's why I said again, my number one was people. Let's figure out. Let's figure out where it's. Like I said, you got beyond not lucky, but you got Chris is a damn good guy. He's a good worker, and you could see him running his own truck probably someday. Where I don't have that spot yet. Granted, I've only been doing this less than a year, but if I could find that one person that would be my version of your right hand guy, Chris, then I would exude as much confidence as you do. Are you stopped in traffic?
I had to get off the highway because there was an accident. I'm assuming there was an accident. We were dead stopped on 96, and then I got passed by an ambulance. So I got off the highway.
Oh, yes.
I'm on old US 23 now in some town.
Oh, I know where you are. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. I don't, but Google does, and that's all that matters.
You're right. You're right there. Oh, here's a bubbly for you.
Yeah. Are you working on our contract with them yet?
I wish.
This segment brought to you. But yeah, let's wrap this shit up. Good episode, Skippy. Good talk as always. We'll be back again in another, I don't know, week probably, unless something catastrophic happens.
Hey, Jay Craig, the outlaw says hi. You can't see it, but it says hi. All right, we'll see you later, bud. Drive safe.
Will you stop giving people plugs for free?
I'm hoping they buy one after I get plugged for free. The loss leader. Come on.
That's right. All right, buddy. Talk to you later. Love you.
Bye bye.